This is actually the first meeting, as everyone has noticed, that the first week we had a President's holiday. So today is going to be the first day of this class. Okay, so first let me go over the syllabus for this course, and then I'll go over other aspects of the course, Canvas and things of that sort. And then I will, I'll finish off, well, mostly with that. Okay, so, oh, I guess before I even start with the syllabus, please note that there is a chat feature. And so if you have any questions, you can click on the chat feature and type in a question. You can also turn on your microphone and ask me a question if you wish. During class, I may turn off your mic if it is, if I hear background noise. But please note, I'm just turning that off so other people aren't bothered by the background noise. Other than that, you can turn it back on when you want to ask a question. Okay. Okay then. I see everyone's mic is off except for mine, so that's good. Okay then. Oh, and everyone can hear me fine? I'm just gonna ask that question so that people can type yes. Oh, good. I see people were able to type yes into the chat box. Okay, good. It's really, that was really a question to see if people could figure out how to type into the chat box. Okay then, let me start. So this is Math 227, Statistics. And so this is my, well, I guess you already sort of know what the URL is to get onto this Zoom session. But here it is again, just in case you forget exactly what it is. Here is an additional location where you can click on it. So we meet 8 a.m. to 1:05 p.m. on Saturdays. We have 2 recommended textbooks: Elementary Statistics by Triola and Statistics Companion Workbook by Littig. So you can either get either one of those textbooks, or you can do your work purely through Canvas. So I would say usually about half of the students just do everything from Canvas. The other half will purchase one or both of those books. So my name is Stephen Castilla. My office, well, I do have an office on campus, but I'm just doing this online. So if you need to contact me for any reason, you can email me. And so that is my email. I'll try to respond within 24 hours, hopefully, but sooner than that. And here is my cell phone. So if you have a quick question, you can text it to me. And here are my office hours: 9:25 to 9:40, Monday through Thursday. So if you have a very quick 5-minute question, you can ask it there. If you have a much lengthier question, then I have from 10:50 to 2 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays office hours. Oh, and here are the URLs you would click on. And I also have from 1:05, right after this class, to 1:35. And so if you have questions right after class, you can also ask me. And there is the URL. Okay, so this is sort of the important things for the class. Next, and this is probably the most important thing that you want to know, is, well, probably grades. Okay, so here's the grading scheme. So 85% to 100 is an A, 70 to 85 is a B, 55 to 70 is a C, 40 to 55 is a D, and below 40 is an F. So next to this are the important dates. So these are dates where, well, of course it says, the very first date says no class. So the first day of class was a non-class day, which is always very strange. And that happens every semester, basically, for the Saturday section. It seems to have the first day is a non-instruction day. Next, well, the dates where, other dates where we have a non-instruction day. Important dates like the last day to withdraw with a W or to add the class, which is coming up very quickly. And the expected dates for our exams. And so those are the dates that I expect that I'll be giving my the exams. Okay, now of course, it is possible, not likely, but it's possible, that those dates for the exams might be changed, but they are my best guess, and they're probably all accurate. Okay. Next, the differing. So how will you be graded? Well, you have homework from Canvas. So you have some homework from Canvas, and that's 5% of your grade. We have exams, that's 60% of your grades, and the final exam. So let me go over each of those. So the homework will be done through Canvas. And usually, well, I'll show it to you when I start showing you the Canvas. How we go through that. The exams. So let me explain the exams. So there are 3 exams that are going to be given throughout the semester. In addition to that, there'll be a final exam. Each of these will consist of 25 questions. And please tell me, so if you can't take an exam, you get a score of 0 on the exam. Each of these exams will be given through Canvas. You'll need to log into Zoom, like you just did now, the same URL, and you will need to turn on your camera and your microphone so that I can proctor and see what you're doing during the exam. You will also be proctored through Proctorio. You will need to use Chrome for that, and you'll need to install the Proctorio extension. When you do an exam, think of it as if you were taking an exam in class. So if you took an exam in class, you would be graded by all of your work that you write down on your exam. And so I will be doing that. The way that you are graded will be by looking at all the work that you do on an exam. So when you actually take the exam, some of the questions are multiple choice. Some of the questions are numerical calculations, and you type in the number into the computer and you submit it. And then the computer will say, right or wrong. And if it's wrong, it gives you 0 points. If you're right, it gives you full points. Do not think that that is your actual score on the exam. Once you have done the exam, it will be graded by me, and I will look at the work that you have shown. I will say, okay, well, yes, they have used proper statistical notation. They've gone through all the correct calculation, and their answer is correct. And then I'll give you full credit, or you've done it partially correct, so I'll give you partial credit. So when I grade it, I will grade it as if you turned it in and face to face. So the work that you submit is what will be graded. Okay, so the very last question on the exam will be, please submit your work. So the very last question will be to actually submit the work that you have done on a piece of paper. What you will do is you will scan it and make it into a single PDF. Then you will send that PDF to me via that last question. So the last question gives you a submit button. And once you click on the submit button, it then allows you to download your PDF, to upload your PDF, and to be able to, so that I can see it. If you have an iPhone, you can use the Notes application to scan. And it actually is a quite easy thing to do, and it does it quite well. So the Notes application on any of the latest iPhones is a very nice application. It comes with all of them. It's an Apple. It comes with the operating system, so you don't need to install anything, and it scans it very well. As a matter of fact, I have a very expensive scanner at home, and the Notes application scans it faster and better than my actual physical scanner. So if you have an iPhone, you can do it that way. Of course, if you have a physical scanner, you can also scan it. If you don't have an iPhone, you can also use the cam scanner. Oh, and if you go in and click on these are links to, I believe, YouTube videos that will show you how to use those applications, in case you don't know. So you can use a graphing calculator during exams. Those are allowed. As a matter of fact, let me see if I have that here somewhere. So, as a matter of fact, it is recommended that you get a TI 83 or TI 84 for this class. You'll be using it, especially towards the end of the class. Well, after like chapter 5, it'll be necessary or extremely helpful for you to use the distributions that are available to use on the TI 83/84. You may also want to use purchase a cheaper calculator to do simpler calculations, especially during the first few weeks of class. Something maybe like a TI 30, TI 30X. You can get those for like $10. So a TI 80, 83, 84 will probably cost $100 or more. So $100 to $140 for a TI 83, 84, whereas a TI 30 is probably about $10. So you should have those so that you can use those during class and during exams. Okay, so that was just so you can do those during exams. Homework, as I said, will be on the through Canvas, and yeah, so so the homework is done through Canvas. Next. Let's see, is there anything else? No, I guess we'll go to that. If you don't do well on an exam, then you can retake exams. And when you retake exams, the weighting on the retakes are weighted according to your homework average. So the better your homework average, the better the weighting on your exams. And so let's look at a situation. So here's the actual formula for how to calculate your homework average. But instead of going through that formula, let me go through examples to show you how that formula will work. So suppose you take an exam, you get a 40%. So you decide to retake it, and oh boy, you get a 94%. Then you retake it again, and you get a 90%. So to calculate your average for that one exam that you've taken 3 different times, you do the following calculation. Well, first disregard the lowest score. And so let's disregard the 40. Take the average of the 92 and the 94. Then let's suppose that your homework average was 20%. Then you would multiply 20% times your average, which was 92%, where you didn't look at the lowest score, plus the complement of the 20%, which is 80%, times your lowest score, which is 40%. And so your average for that exam is 50%. But if your homework average was 98%, and you still, all the scores on the exam were the same, you took an exam, retook it, got a 94, retook it, got 92, then 98% of your 92 plus 2% of your 40 is 91%. So notice that it makes a big difference on how well you do on the homework if you're going to be retaking exams. So if you do well on exams, your homework average is only 5%. So you really don't even need to do the homework. But if you don't do well on exams, then you have to do the homework because your retakes are weighted according to your homework average. Is that clear? Okay, now, I hate to tell you, but I have to, it's early in the morning and I've got to do something for about 1 minute and we'll be back in 1 minute. And if you have any questions, think about any questions you want to know on this syllabus. I'll have to be back in 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else I need to say about this? No, I think that's it. for this part. So let me go to Canvas. Oh, I see there's a, oh, no, that's not it. Okay, let me. Let's see. Okay, good. Oh, let me go in as a student. So first, let me go in here as a student. Okay. Okay, so first off, first thing you notice is that as a student, if you try to jump ahead, these are not highlighted. So you can't actually jump ahead. Oops, can't really jump ahead until you do some things. So these are all sort of, you're unable to do these things. So let me explain what you need to do to unlock these. So first off, here's another location to be able to go to the Zoom. And so for the class meeting, you would click here, and this will give you to, well, where you're at this moment. And then these are links that will get you to the office hours at those particular times. Okay. Next. Here's the syllabus. Oh, so notice there's a mark done and a mark done feature. If you haven't clicked on the mark done for the previous, then these will not be highlighted. And so you won't be able to go to these until you have marked as done. So let's go to the course syllabus. So you'll have to mark this as done. So go over here, click here. Let me just zoom ahead to the next one. And this is a video. Really, it's applicable if you're on campus. So this is sort of a semi-requirement that they wanted us to show you this or have you look at this if you're on campus. It's not that applicable if you're, at home and not going anywhere. But you need to click that as done. Well, you need to view all these things and click as done. If you do that, then what you'll notice is that things are now available to you. So now these things here are now available to you. These were things that that you couldn't click on from before. Okay. So let me go over the syllabus online just to sort of show you how to navigate that. So there's basically the same thing. Oh, and then here, if you click on this, that will give you the PDF of what I was just looking at. So this is the PDF of this. Okay, and from this, you can download it if you wish. So I guess I'll go from top to bottom with this. So description. So this just tells you the catalog description and what you need to know to be in this course. So it is assumed that you have a intermediate algebra knowledge of mathematics by enrolling in this course. if you do not have an intermediate algebra level of knowledge, then it is assumed that you will study during this course so that you have that prerequisite knowledge before you complete assignments on this course. If you don't, there is a Math 100 that is available that you can take, and I will do an announcement and give you details if you feel you don't have some of the background that's necessary, some of the mathematical background for this course. Okay, so let me go back. Here are the required materials and the optional materials. So the required materials are your calculator, and optional are the books and the TI-84. Oh, here is another location. Uh-oh. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, this will have to be changed. Oh, this is wrong. Okay, so these will have to be changed. I didn't notice that. Oh, it's good. I looked over these. Later today, they'll have the correct information. So I was going to say, this is where you can click on the, this is where you can click on links so soon after class, I'll fix this. This will be another location where you can click on the link to get you to the current Zoom. Obviously this gives you to a previous class, and where you can click on for office hours. So I'll have to change that and change those dates. I didn't notice that page, obviously. Okay. Oh, then these are just sort of the attendance policies, what we did from before. I told you attendance policies. Okay. Assignments. Yeah, so again, there are 3 exams and one final exam. There are practice exams that are available. These practice exams are identical to your actual exam. They have, so the way that we have created exams is we've done this in Canvas, and we've created a large database of questions. When you take an exam, it will take one of these questions. Usually there are like 200 versions of one question, meaning 200 places where we switched around the numbers. And you can take it. That's a question on your exam. Now, since it's done like randomly, when you take your actual exam, it's the same as the practice exam, meaning the way that it's created goes and picks a question, the same question from the same database. But of course, the numbers are different because every time you do an exam, you get different numbers. And that's why we're able to give makeups, because every time you take an exam, we'll generate different numbers. Well, actually, you could have the same numbers, but it's very rare. Every question has like 200 or more versions, so it's unlikely you're ever going to get the same question, as anyone else in the class. Okay. So now these are things that are just online. So best practices. So these are telling you what you should do to be a good student. Now, in this course, it is possible, very unlikely, actually during exams. So during exams, you will be monitored, proctored. So the LAVC legal wants you to be able to read this, saying that you consent that you're being watched during exams. Oh, if you have any, so if you need any support, these are, where you can get financial aid, where you can get any sort of student services, where you can get tutoring, things of that sort. So here's a link to all the services for students for tutoring. Well, actually, for any student services, there's a link for all the student services. Oh, and lastly, so this gives you how to take notes. Again, how to study, what are the best practices for studying, and what you should not do for studying, and a whole bunch of things involved with studying, okay, and memory, things of that sort. Okay, and relaxation techniques. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so that's, okay. Okay, so let's see. Oh, these give you some introductions to Canvas, to StatDisk, things of that sort. Here's an important thing. So this is a knowledge check. So this is how most of the homeworks look. So this is a homework. They'll say quiz, but that's because that's the way it's set up. But this is a homework. And what you would do is you would listen. Here, I'll maybe click on this for 1 second. You would listen to this.
So statistics is the science of planning studies and experiments, obtaining questions. The exam.
So this is this is a video, and you would listen to this whole video. And after you've listened to this video, you will answer some questions on this video. And you would just click here to say take exam. In this case, I think there's only one question. Usually you have several attempts. In this case, you only have like one attempt because there's only like one question. Okay. Next. Let's see. Oh, that's not given as. Oh, that's not. Okay, so this is my lecture notes. If you click here, actually, I think. Oh, ooh. Okay, I'll have to see why that doesn't work. Okay, I'll have to go back and fix that link. Okay, that's really weird. There's two places to set links again. Okay, so here is some. Oh, I bet you I got to check if the link is wrong for this too. So you would look over these notes. Basically, that's what I'm going to be going over today. There are also some videos that you can watch. And then at the end of it, in this one, let's see if this works for students. I'm going to click on this. See, so if that link is wrong, now oh, no, this is right. Okay, good. So you could, you can still see all these instructions, and then at the end, you would answer some questions on the video. And then you'd put in some numbers, and then, so here, I'll just put in numbers there. And then you submit it, and it would grade it for you. Okay. Oh, less than 1 minute. And then it will tell you if you're right or wrong. Okay, so. Yeah, so those are just lecture notes. Oh, and let's see. Oh, actually, let's see. Let me go up 2 more. Oh, here. Prerequisite. So I was going to take a homework. Then I noticed, oh, I can't take a homework here because it says I had to click that I actually read that and click it as done. Okay, good. After you've done that, then you can, again, do an assignment, a homework. Just click on take a quiz, and it will go over the things in the previous few lectures. Okay, so that's really how you would do how you would navigate. Any questions? So let me get out of, well, let me ask you first. Any questions on Canvas or on the syllabus or anything related to the course? Any questions? Does anyone have any questions about anything?
So we don't have a required book to buy?
That's right. So some students do not purchase. So if I look here, let's say, let's look at this again. Let me look at this guy again. If you look at this, let's go way back here. So this,
Welcome to section 1
actually-
of statistics using the Statistics
one second.
Companion workbook.
let me turn this down a little bit.
This workbook
So I'll talk over him.
for this class.
Okay. Oh,
Workbook contains all of
So,
the slides that
if I look here,
videos.
this
However,
video is going over this workbook.
Missing the answers
So-
to the example question.
So you don't really need, so this is actually like
It's being
that workbook.
presented again.
Some students
This was
wish to actually have the physical book in front of them so that they can write things on it and so that they can easily review back to it. So obviously, if you don't have a book, you can't review back to it when you're doing quizzes and all that. Other students just say, well, all the material is given here. I don't really need to purchase a book, purchase this workbook. The Triola textbook gives further detail on what's covered in this workbook. So are the textbooks required? No. You are not required to have the textbooks. Are they recommended? Yes. Both of the textbooks are recommended, but not required. Did that answer your question?
Sweet, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So, this stuff here is what's in the workbook. And some students do like to actually put, have a workbook in front of them. And as I say, other students really don't care. So it's really up to you how you decide if you want to purchase a textbook or not. So someone's asking, do you need both calculators? No. Is it recommended? Yes. So a cheap calculator is recommended only because a TI-83, even though it can do everything, or TI-84 can do everything, it just turns out that it is more complicated to do easy things. So the easy things are not as easy on a complicated calculator. So if you want to do something easy and you try to do it on a TI-83 or TI-84, it may take you a lot of keystrokes and a lot of going into menus and things of that sort. Whereas if you had a cheaper $10 calculator, it doesn't do as much. So everything is sort of right out there, where just is on a key that you just click on. So it turns out that I would say majority of students at the beginning just purchased a cheap calculator, but then towards the end of the semester, they find that using the TI-83, TI-84 is just so much easier for the latter part of the course that they decide to buy it. So I would say that, if you're in a bind, and you don't have the money, it's not necessary that you have these calculators, but you'll be at a disadvantage if you don't have these calculators. I give you formulas so that you can do everything on a handheld calculator. But those formulas are a lot of work. And so you can do it all on a calculator, all using tables, well, actually just all on a calculator. But it is much longer and more complicated doing it all on a $10 calculator as compared to like a TI-83. So yeah, that's my spiel about that. So I would say the majority of students at the end of the semester, so by the time we get to the end of the semester, almost all students eventually have a TI-83 or TI-84. Okay, they've all sort of decided that it's easier to do the course with that. So everyone eventually decide, well, not everyone, the majority of students eventually decide that purchasing a TI-83 or a TI-84 is not a bad investment. Okay, other questions? Any other questions on how the course is run? So, okay, so let's see. This is me. I'm back as the instructor. So as an instructor, I can click on anything, so I don't have to. Okay, so let me just show you. So this is a practice exam. So this is an exam. In the exam, I give you formulas. So I give you the formula sheet. Hopefully it's the correct formula sheet. Let me see. I give you a formula sheet. It's taking forever to load up. And these should be all the formulas that you would need to do the exam. I'll just go to preview. It's taking too long. Yeah, let me just click on preview. So you would take an exam. By the way, the preview is for me, so that it's when an instructor wants to take an exam. Oh. Okay, so good. So when you take an exam, it will look something like this. You have access. I'll do it here now. You'll have access to your formulas, and you will then. So some of your questions will involve just plugging in numbers. Some are multiple choice. A few are writing in something. Most will involve long calculations, and you plug it in something. At the end of this exam, you will click here, you will scan all of your work, and you will submit it here. You click on this, and it would, there. It would, actually not, let me not show you what my files are. Oh, well, not that they're interesting. These are just the lecture notes to another class. You would click here, and you would upload your work, and then you would submit your quiz. Okay, obviously I haven't done anything. Okay, so, and then it would score you. Okay, obviously my score is not very good. But you just notice that your actual exam is going to be the same. So your actual exam will consist of the same type of questions. Now, of course, the numbers will be different. So that's really the only thing that's different, is that when you actually take the exam, it's just that the exam that you take, since we go from this database, you'll have just different numbers for the exam. Any questions about this? Okay. Please note again that it's very important that you show all of your work